Welcome to the channel, guys. My name is Jess. So Bitcoin has recently broken above 70k resistance, going as high as $73,000 overnight. The rally was just shy of testing the all-time high, but it still paved way for some really bullish price action across the entire cryptocurrency market moving forward. So let's dive into the charts today and talk about the recent rally and what it means, as well as what to expect next on both the short time frame and high time frame charts. Before we get into all that though, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to the channel to get regular Bitcoin analysis every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. If you're after more content, be sure to check out my free Telegram, and if you're interested in my VIP channel, you can get more details over here. VIP gives you exclusive access to my personal trading setups with exact entry points, targets, and stop losses. Alrighty guys, so diving into the charts, let's quickly talk about what on earth has happened in the price action recently and what it all means. So we're over here on a daily time frame here on Bitcoin, and as we can see, we have finally broken above that level of resistance that characterized that rejection that we saw earlier on last week, right, from 69.5 thousand. So in my last video, we spoke about how at this level of resistance over here, the critical level of support that we had supporting a bullish continuation was this one over here at $66,000. All we were seeing was a retest of the prior high in our bi-monthly uptrend, the same sort of pattern that we had exhibited over here when Bitcoin had retraced that prior high in the uptrend, and that facilitated that bullish continuation. So the target we had here in this breakout was then the next high within our high time frame downtrend over here, or our descending channel structure, and that's pretty much exactly what we saw. We actually saw a little bit more of an overextension there. We even went up to $73,000, but either way, that breakout is really good to see. On the short time frame, moving into the breakout, we had a weekly downtrend over here, right, starting from that range high rejection at 69.5, but then moving towards the start of this week, we started to develop a little bit of an apex. So we had a short time frame uptrend moving into our downtrend over here. So on the short time frame, we had a little bit of a correction there to retest support at 67.5. If you guys are in my Telegram channel, you would have seen that. But following that retest of support, Bitcoin was able to sustain there and bounce, breaking us out of our weekly downtrend and pushing above resistance at 69.5. So the price absolutely flew after that and is currently sitting at 72,500. The breakout is significant not only for Bitcoin, but over here on total as well. So if you guys watched my last video, we talked about how this sort of structure that we had here, the macro structure, was a little bit invalidated purely because of this breakout. But one really valid structure that we had that was sort of, charting out the trajectory of the entire cryptocurrency market was over here on total 3, the same sort of descending channel structure over here. And the recent rally from Bitcoin has led to, enough of a rally from Bitcoin and altcoins conjunctively that we have finally broken out of this corresponding downtrend here as well. So that is, again, really good to see, and this rally has had some really significant impacts on the entire crypto market. Again, total 3 is again testing that prior high here in that downtrend as well, which we'll need to see broken before we can expect a rally up to 2.6 trillion. So let's dive into our analysis now on Bitcoin, starting off with the recent daily candle close and then moving into the short time frame. Before we get into the rest of the video, guys, let's hear a quick word from our sponsor, BTC. We can get 15% off all of your trading fees and up to $5,500 in sign-up rewards when you create your free account using the link down in my description box. BTC is an emerging cryptocurrency exchange committed to providing you with a secure, convenient, and highly functional trading and investment platform. Available across all countries as a non-KYC exchange, get global access to over 150 trading pairs with minimal fees on both spot and futures contracts. Join today to get $5,500 in sign-up rewards and get 15% off all of your trading fees by signing up using the link in my bio or by using the code 1GG3 when you create your account. So starting off our analysis on the slightly higher time frame here, let's talk about the daily candle close. So in my last video, right, when we were talking about the breakout here from 69.5, the target that we had set was a retest of the prior high in our 8-month-long downtrend over here at $72,000. But what we can see from the most recent close is that we actually broke above that level of resistance, and it was a change of character level as indicated by the Smart Money Concepts indicator. And the reason why it was a change of character level is because in breaking out of a downtrend, any sort of downtrend, the first sort of target that you have is a break above the prior high within that downtrend, and breaking above that prior high and forming a higher high rather than, the lower highs that characterize a downtrend, we enter into an uptrend. So Bitcoin now, after breaking above this level of resistance here at $70,000, but also this one over here at $72,000, we can see that we have actually started to finally form a macro uptrend here on the daily time frame. We're forming higher highs for the first time within an 8-month period, which is absolutely huge. This recent breakout has had huge macro implications, right? However, when we zoom in just a little bit more onto the 12-hour time frame, we can see that we're not quite in the clear yet. We have one more level of resistance that needs to be cleared, and you can see it on the 12-hour time frame by pulling up that same indicator, that smart money concepts, and that is, as you guys can probably guess, at the all-time high. So over here at $73,700, we have the end of our final level of resistance. So that recent rally that we've just had was just shy there. So our week high here on the short time frame is at around 73,600, but it's very, very close. So we retested that upper level of resistance there, and from that recent 12-hour candle close, we can see that we rejected off there. We have quite a large wick on the top side. Oopsies. So starting off, and we are currently forming a red candle against that level of resistance. So there is a little bit of a potential on the short time frame that we might see a little bit of a correction, but we'll talk about that in just a moment when we move on to the 4-hour and hourly charts. Let's really quickly though talk about the breakout of this level of resistance. So naturally, being the all-time high, breaking above that leads Bitcoin to go into price discovery, which is naturally very, very bullish. Uncharted waters, I guess, or uncharted price action, it generally leads to quite volatile and aggressive rallying. And so that rally, if you guys remember, videos ages ago, the first target that we have in terms of a high time frame move or slightly high time frame move is $84,000. That is the measured move of our macro descending channel structure. And I know we've had a little bit of a fake out, but the overall breakout and that move upwards still holds, and the measured move of that is the height of the channel. So if we apply that to the breakout point over here on the 28th of October, that takes us to 83,600. It was 84K, it's dropped just a tiny bit because we had a fake out and then we delayed that breakout just a little bit, but still a huge target. So that is sort of the bullish trajectory that we have here. And on the high time frame charts, even if we do see a little bit of a correction, as long as we do not lose this lower level of support established here on the prior high in our uptrend at $69.5 to $70,000, we continue to form these higher highs and higher lows here on the higher time frame charts, leading to eventually a breakout of that 73K level of resistance here and a bullish continuation into that price discovery. So let's move over onto the shorter time frame now and talk about that, potential correction, the structures that we have there and what to look out for next. So moving on to the hourly time frame here, we do have a couple little structures to talk about. So first of all, we have our weekly uptrend over here. It started over here on Saturday at $65.5 thousand. And this was the uptrend that took Bitcoin to break out of $70,000. And from that breakout, we developed another little structure over here, being our ascending channel formation on the short time frame. So when I planned this video originally, I was going to talk about if we broke down from this little structure over here, we were very likely to then see a correction that takes us to first of all retest 71,000 over here, this next level of support at the prior low in that short time frame uptrend, and then following that a retest filling this volume gap of $70,000, also our weekly uptrend over here. But as I've been speaking, we've already broken down from that structure, so now let's talk about that breakdown. The first target that we have is obviously the measured move, and if we apply that to the breakdown point over here, that takes us below the prior high here in our uptrend and into this volume gap over here. So we're very likely now following this breakdown to see a little bit of a correction on the short time frame, and that should very likely take us to go on to retest either that 69.5 to 70K level of support. So on the daily time frame, that would be the exact same sort of pattern that we've seen time and time again while within this higher time frame structure over here, right? Well, we've gone on to retest a high, deviate to the prior high as a correction, and following that bounce, move on to the next high, and so on and so forth. So that retest here of $70,000 would still be very, very bullish here on the high time frame. We're not seeing any sort of correction that takes us below that prior level of support here on the daily chart. And on the short time frame, if we bounce at $70,000, we have still held the weekly uptrend over here. So things are still looking really, really bullish despite the maybe 4% correction that we've seen over here. It is only falling below $70,000 and falling below this uptrend over here that things start to look a little bit more concerning, because that is when we start to re-enter back into this prior sort of channel of consolidation between $66,000 and $70,000, which would naturally be not very good to see because it suggests that we've failed this breakout over here. We rejected from that upper level of resistance and are due for another period of sideways consolidation or potentially another downwards move. So naturally that wouldn't be very good to see, but as you guys can see over here from that smart money indicator, we have a bunch of levels of support preventing the price from breaking below that 66K level. So I would say above this level here, things are looking really, really bullish. Things start to look a little bit bearish to neutral over here. And then obviously below 65.5, that strong low, falling below this level of support, we will break down from the prior low in our uptrend, forming a lower low and entering a downtrend here on the daily time frame. And that is when things start to look genuinely very, very bearish once again. So be prepared for a little bit of a correction here on the short time frame, but overall things are looking really, really bullish, guys. Alrighty guys, that is all the analysis that I have for you today. If you enjoyed the video or you learned something, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. If you're after even more content, be sure to check out my free Telegram for daily updates as well as crypto and economic news. And if you're interested in my VIP channel, you can get more details over here. VIP gives you exclusive access to my personal trading setups with exact entry points, targets, and stop losses. And if you are a trader, don't forget to sign up down below to BitUnext to get 15% off all of your trading fees. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!